Welcome to the Nightly Rant
with
your hosts, Mike
and Torya.
This is the show where we examine society from a sarcastic point of view.
If you like insane conversations, this is definitely the show for you.
Let's get into today's topic. YPN people, I don't know about you, but I love helping out a friend. That's why I want to shout out my friend Brian Little and his podcast, Your Favorite Blockhead. This is the only show that manages to weave together peanuts and MMA into one heck of an amazing podcast. You can find Your Favorite Blockhead wherever your favorite podcasts reside and at yourfavoriteblockhead.com. Do me a huge favor and listen to Brian's show. You'll be entertained and you'll help out a friend. Now, as I said, let's get into today's topic.
That would be the perfect way to tie this knot.
Do you remember the story in question?
Start to refresh my memory and I'll tell you.
Alrighty here. So my iPhone decided that the off button on the top was no longer going to be able to be pressed down. It's no longer on the top. This was in 2014. Everybody calm down.
I'm just thinking if I remember this story, and I sort of do, but go ahead.
Okay, so button. No more clicky. Made my phone battery die extremely fast. Also made it really hard to do some things like, I don't know, reset my phone when something else wasn't working.
Right.
All right, so it was, needless to say, it was inconvenient. And the reason I say move to America land of many Apple stores is if this happened here, there's like 12 Geek Squads. Or Apple, whatever. Genius Bar people. Stores within reasonable driving distance. I could get an appointment tomorrow if I desperately needed it.
Exactly.
So I go to the Apple authorized retailer located in Lethbridge, and they're like, okay, we're going to need to send your phone off to be repaired. We're going to give you this loaner phone and we'll take yours and we'll call you in when we get it back and change the phones again. Okay, whatever. This has happened to me, laptops before, whatever. You're going to give me a loaner, I'm good. I take the loaner. A week goes by. P.S. This loaner was very distinctly different from my pristine, had always been in a life-proof case iPhone. This son of a bitch was like dinged up. There was a crack in the screen.
Hold on, I want to derail you slightly. Just slightly. Then I'll let you go back onto your track and continue down the road. But when you got it, were there like dick pics on there or anything like that?
No, it was just a perfectly reset phone.
See, I know somebody who got a loaner phone and it came with its own set of dick pics.
Holy shit. That's really funny.
Not really. His girlfriend looked at the phone and was like, why do you have all these dicks on here?
Okay, that's pretty funny.
So, she thought he was gay. So kind of interesting. Or, she was not interested. So now the train back onto the track continue.
They even restored it to match my other phone.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So all my texts were there. Everything was good. Apple.
I remember this. I remember this happening.
So this loaner phone, it kind of looked like somebody put it through a meat grinder and then glued it back together.
Yeah. I remember you had me rolling in laughter when you were telling me about this phone.
And keep in mind, my phone, pristine, life-proof case, I still have it.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so whatever.
Yeah.
I take their loaner phone. 1 week goes by. I'm getting more and more annoyed that it's taking so long. Like, why didn't you bitches just replace my freaking phone with one that doesn't look like a meat grinder had eaten it already? And whatever. A week,
Which
whatever.
is what they would have done here.
It has to go there and then come back. Okay, whatever. This is fine. I'm going to calm myself for another week.
But isn't that because they're not actually an official Apple authorized dealer? They're like a subcontractor of Apple.
Yes, they were an Apple authorized retailer.
Yeah,
so they were not an Apple store.
Right, so they had to send it to the Apple store people to get approval for it.
So I think it had to go all the way to the east side of Canada.
Oh, Jesus.
Back.
Okay, makes sense.
It happens. There's a lot of manufacturing in Ontario.
Yeah, makes sense.
I let 2 weeks go by. My patience has worn paper thin. And I talked to this guy on the phone. This Mike guy sitting here chatting with me. And he's like, well, why don't you just call them? In that same, why are you procrastinating, super sarcastic voice that we started out with. So I call them.
Why don't you just call them?
So I hung up on him.
That's how I say it.
Nicely.
That's how I say it.
I hung up on you nicely, and I called them. And I shouldn't have done this while I was at work. I really should not have.
No.
It restrained it. My creativity was held way, way back because I did this at work. Anyway, so these people tell me that they've lost my phone and that I can just keep
I remember this.
the loaner phone as a trade. And I was like, I brought you a pristine, life-proof cased iPhone, and you gave me this? And you just want me to keep the piece of shit you gave me? And I just lost it. The dude at the Apple authorized retailer was like, if you come in, we'll give you a brand new one. He was terrified. Well, but at least he went to the right direction, though. Instead of being terrified and like telling you to go pound sand, he was saying, if you come in, I'll give you a brand new one. I think this man was trying to be convenient. And I really, on hindsight, do not think he deserved any of what I said to him.
Oh, no.
Because...
oh, no. And I know how you can be sometimes.
That's how I was.
So I can imagine what it was like.
So anyway, I think he was just trying to be convenient because I don't think he knew the drastic difference in phones. And I think he was just trying to be nice and save me the trip in.
Yeah.
But he was so terrified that the next day, when I went into the Apple authorized retailer... He happened to be the one behind the counter.
Oh, no.
I gave him my name, and he was like, I'm going to go get it. He was so scared that I was going to yell at him.
Oh, no.
I've calmed down since then. That's the funny part.
But that's good that he handled, honestly, that was good customer service. I like that customer service. I think that people can learn from that guy on how he handled it. And I don't care if it was inspired by fear.
The part that relates it to our other conversation is the fact that originally he wanted me to just keep this horrifying piece of garbage.
Yeah. And no, like, you're not going to do that.
No.
You know, it's like, okay, last thing I want to talk about tonight, because that went kind of fast. So let's get this last topic out there. So we've been talking on and off about Instagram scammers, and I don't know why I've been blessed with both the ability to attract them and also the ability to identify them the second I see their username. It's like I see it and I read it as scammer instantly. And sure enough, those people, suddenly a DM shows up after you accept their follow request. Right away you get a DM and they're like, hello. And then you start talking to them and they tell you, you have been selected to win $5,000. Blah, 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 blah. And then what they're trying to do is they're trying to get your, login link. They want you to tell them the email address that's associated with your Instagram account. And that's the whole trick. They say things like, yes, just give us your email address. And they're banking on you having an Instagram with that email address. They're banking on it. And then they're like, okay, you just received a code or link. Can you please send it to us so we can finish the verification? And if you're not paying attention, you're allowing them to log into that Instagram account, and they can then take complete control over it by changing the email address, changing the password, and there goes your account. And then they use it to scam people, because then people are like, why do they go to all of that hassle? It must be something other reason. Yeah, it's because then they start scamming people using that account. And guess what? It looks a lot more realistic when you get an account that has comments made on it. People are like, oh, I know this person. They have a real life. They're a real person. Of course I'll get into their investment scheme.
So I have to tell you something funny and then we can be done.
I hope that ramble made sense.
It did.
Okay.
It did. So the other day I was on Facebook, and I have lots of people on my friends list that I think are really, really dumb. So full disclosure, sorry people, but you cannot prove that I was talking about you. Anyway.
I was gonna say that, but you took care of it.
Yeah. Anyway, this dude is like, I have a new Instagram account. My other one got hacked. Okay, so whatever. Whatever. But now I know really how dumb he is, because he fell for that and gave them the code to his Instagram when a scammer messaged him. And that just makes me laugh so hard.
because his account still exists, and you know damn well know it still exists.
Yes.
And that's the funny part about that is you're not wrong. Like, you know somebody who like was stupid enough to give it away. and like I laughed, like when the guy said that to me, that this time I laughed and I said, not happening, buddy. What? Nothing's going to happen. It's just to verify. No, it's not. Don't try to tell me what it's about. And
that was a good one. That was a good one.
It's pretty slick, and I can see how they can get that by people. I do see how they get that by people. It's pretty slick to act that way. I mean, I'm kind of surprised they don't impersonate Instagram itself.
I have to tell you, people, this is a life lesson for all of you, and then we're going to be done.
Okay, third time we've said that tonight. This time I think it's for real.
A live person will never ask you for a code that has been texted to you that you didn't ask them to send to you.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go even further than that. Okay. I'm going to go even further than that. A live person may say to you, I just sent you a code. Go ahead and get it. But they will not ask you for it. They'll say, did you get the code? Yes, I did. Then they say, okay, hold on. And then they send something to you that makes you type in the code.
The link and type in the
code. They don't get to see what the code is.
Right.
Then their side verifies their code, and if it's correct, it moves them to the next step in the process.
Correct.
That's how it works.
But a live person will never ask you to read them the code that has been sent to your phone.
Ever.
And live people include people you're chatting with on Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, wherever you're chatting with them. So this is a public service announcement for all of you. Don't give out your friggin' codes.
Else you gonna be scammed.
Yep. Good night, everyone.
Hasta la bye-bye, scammers.
Thank you for listening to the Nightly Rant.
If you enjoyed the show, please give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Google Play.
If you didn't enjoy the show, please just ignore that previous request for a rating.
This has been a Yogi's Podcast Network production.